Last we left off, the Forge Force found themselves stuck in a loop of time, 32 minutes and 18 seconds long. Those that had fallen seemingly resurrected and their bodies restored as if nothing had ever happened. And at the center of it all, Zern, the dark-haired halfling man who was discovered who have been stuck in this loop for an exorbitant amount of time. Driven mad through repeating the same cycle again and again, Zern, at first, did not provide much assistance. One cycle saw the entire party slain by the mystery Bard of Night, while another, Nicodros, was washed away in a tidal wave. As time began to repeat itself again and again, the party began to share more and more information with Zern, whose mind opened to them. In addition to sharing stories about all of the citizens of Nicodros being turned into bunny rabbits, or inside out, Zern gave the party a tool that could be used, a unique right of command, at the Kobold Reserve. A number of cycles were spent in this place, researching, attempting to find what could give them a way out. One of the trips there even saw Arni's head exploding, decorating the walls with his brain matter. In their research, Chief had an epiphany that an item that he carried, known as the Looking Glass, may be the key to unlocking the secrets of this time loop. Allowing the world to reset one more time, the group found themselves again, explaining to Zern everything they had learned. Chief, peering through the Looking Glass, towards the city square where a great number of events had occurred in these cycles. A pulsing light emitted from that place. The chief elected to utilize this repeating time to train Zenesha to drive the cart, which she very promptly crashed upon making the journey towards the city square. The source of the temporal disruption appeared to be coming from the upper level of a two-story home next to the city square. Ceradyn, in peering through the window, saw a woman in distress, and over her, a little girl, whose hands had pierced space itself and were twisting time. The group rushed inside to save the woman, while Zenesha chased a squirrel. Zern was stopped from assaulting the girl, the one who seemed to be responsible for the condition he had been in for an untold amount of time. Zern pleaded one final time. "Shoot me in the face. Please, kill me."
And there Zern stands in front of all but Ceradyn, who is escorting the woman and her daughter down the stairs of their home. Please. I can't do this.
Zenesha's gonna put a dagger under his chin.
There's no movement from him.
You sure? He won't come back this time.
No, hold on. I think we've got to get the story straight here.
I mean, he's free, so do we really have to kill him?
I want to look out the window to see if there's any guards out there.
Go ahead and make a perception check. You have a limited view out of this window.
Minus my 3, so that's 9.
9. Yeah, and it's not even necessarily like that you do a poor job of looking out the window. It's that in looking out the window, you essentially have a 20-foot street in front of you before there's more buildings, and just not a lot of view. There's somebody walking by, but not a guard. Zern is just sitting quietly. Zenesha, your dagger to his throat.
He hasn't responded, so she's just waiting.
You can tell there's some thought going on there.
You have a chance to live your life now.
I have lived 100 lives.
You've lived 100 nightmares. You have a chance to live life now.
There's a very clear turmoil within Zern. And he, in putting his hands up and kind of turning Zenesha, I mean, you draw blood because you're holding it firm, and there's just no reaction from him when a new slice on his neck appears, and he just...
I think this man needs a hospital.
starting to breathe
Let's just-
heavier.
I think that we bring him to a hospital, and it may take weeks or months, but I think eventually he'll come around to living his life.
I don't know, man. I can't jump on with that. He knows a lot. He could destroy a lot.
He could also help a lot.
Zern, do
As-
you want to join our party?
As you say that, Chief, his mania that he was slipping into kind of stops. Who would want my help? Join you?
You said you've read all the books in this town and seen everything this town has to offer. You may be able to help out the guard. They don't know what you've done. You might be able to help the city become even more prosperous and protected. Which there is going to be a great deal of protection need to come in the future.
Especially with the ley lines.
Ley lines? What?
Yeah.
One with your knowledge could actually benefit this town greatly. If
You ever, in your readings, come across any mention of a group called the White Skull?
Oh, they're here. Yes, they're here.
Yeah,
No,
they're
I
trying to
mean-
basically destroy the whole world, and we're trying to put a stop to it.
First order of helping, where are they when you say they are here?
And
Well, that depends
list of
on which
names.
cycle. And no names. You take their mask off, and there's
Don't
not
put
a
it
lot
on.
left underneath. No,
Yeah.
no,
Don't.
that hurts.
Oh, it's an issue about somebody else. Great.
A kinship.
Zenesha will remove the dagger at that point.
It is at this point. Zenesha, he looks at you and he says, "That happens. That happens. But maybe. But I've lost my mind. And you would... What could you do? I can't be trusted."
That's why we want you to come with. Or that's why I want you to come with. Not only that, then you can teach me all that knowledge. And you have some good stories.
Sashem,
Yep.
he should use that knowledge for this town. He gained that
These are-
knowledge from this town,
It is a
so
pretty
it
big
only
city.
really benefit them.
And we should probably take out the White Skull before we leave.
Which should be our main focus now. Now, you said depends on the cycle. Has there been cycles where they've been in the same place?
That's a loaded question. It's a near infinite number of cycles and a finite number of locations within the city. It's only reasonable that at times there would be the same location, but there's no pattern. There's no pattern. There's no
If
pattern.
I got
There's
you
no
a
pattern.
map,
There's
could
no
you
pattern.
point out where
Hey,
each
Zern,
spot?
friend, can I try something? Can you tell me if you feel any difference at all? And Arnie's going to cast a healing word at a 3rd level on him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the healing for that.
So that's 17 points.
Okay, out of 17. So essentially all of the knocking around and the new cut on his neck and everything like that is all... Oh,
So did you...
my injuries are closed.
I know that you feel physically better, but do you feel any of the mental wariness drawback at all?
Hi, I'm Zern. What's your name? No, that's Arni. That's Arni. You know, it doesn't take any more than any of your guys' passive insight. The mind is broken. There are ways to mend it. You're not sure that you necessarily possess today the skills or the magics necessary.
Would Arni know enough that, like, spending a spell slot of cure wounds a day, would that make a significant difference over time?
You know that along, like, the endeavor that I'm assuming has persisted to heal Zenesha and her scars, that the healing magic can fix something that has gone physically wrong. So if he got whacked in the head and that damage has persisted, maybe that would heal it. That's not what's happened here. Hi. Maybe the hospital, or maybe the reserve.
I was gonna say, you can always go to the Cobalt Stole. They'll probably use and abuse you somehow.
What? No.
I mean,
No.
your knowledge.
He looks over to you, Chief. But who can help me?
This man needs a purpose.
We could take you to one of the temples here in town. Maybe Temple of Ioun, or along that line. Maybe they can help heal your mind.
I'll follow.
Maybe an alchemist
I'll
with some
follow.
potions.
Oh, I've tried all manner of potions.
So try. Let's take you to where maybe something of the divine could help. In the meantime, while we're going, I'll find a map and maybe you can point those points of interest out for us. For the White Skull.
Okay. Now, do you have a map of Nicodranus specifically?
No, I'd have to find one as we're going.
Okay. At this point, Ceradyn, if the group is leading Zern down the stairs, this is where he would be coming downstairs alongside the entirety of the group, where this woman and girl have sat. But actually, there's some maybe conversation that would happen between Ceradyn and these two.
Yeah, I actually wrote up something I was going to send you, but it works out. I can just
let's do it here.
After getting them downstairs, to be like, all right, is everyone okay? Are all of your physical ailments counted?
I feel I am. And at this point, she's essentially holding up the little girl on her hip. Girl's a little bit older than you would expect to be held like that, but given the situation. The girl looks exhausted, like drained beyond just physically drained.
Looking to the mother.
The woman... Go ahead.
What are your names?
My name's Naya, and this is Marie.
Well, Naya, I know that you've been through quite the ordeal today, and
It's not just today, is it? There's a strange sensation.
no, Marie here has magnificent power within her, and I think for your and her safety, it's best if you come with me to the Cobalt Reserve. There may be someone there that can not only teach her control over this, but they may possibly be able to give you a better life as well.
She kind of wraps around her a little bit tighter, and she's like, "No, the reserve is tied to the consortium here. They have an obligation. It's dangerous."
What do you mean, dangerous?
I can't tell you. I'm sorry. It's too much.
I understand it may be much, but right now your little girl has been a danger to everyone in this town. You don't want that. She doesn't want that, I'm sure.
Make a persuasion check. With advantage because you made the right appeal.
Okay. Nat 20, 27.
You stand basically like you've perched kind of on the back of a couch and are overlooking them. Your unassuming form, but she finally really like locks eyes with you and reads you a little bit. And while she's doing that, her shoulders are curling up and she's squeezing her daughter. And then finally, that man upstairs was here because we were providing refuge for someone. Someone that's an enemy of the consortium. You have to understand the consortium. They exploit all of us for their own benefit, for their own rich growth, and
You'll have no judgment from me. I'm about what's right for people. Doesn't matter what my higher-ups tell me. I do what is right. That includes helping you.
There's movement here in Nicodranus, and it's spreading across the Menagerie Coast against the consortium. It's like an underground rebellion. I don't even think they've named themselves yet, but the workers that have been under the foot of the consortium for so long, we just can't do it anymore. They live in utter decadence while the rest of the population starves. And visitors don't see it because it's kept hidden away, it's locked away. But it's happening. And our stories matter. We were protecting one of the leaders of that movement. The son of Lord Neruvan.
Lord Neruvan? I can't say as I've heard that name before.
So this is like a workers' union then.
And at this point, yes, most of the party, by timeline here, would have begun to make their way down the stairs. And
I would
you
like
guys
to.
also go ahead.
I was just going to say, as a point of reference, I'd like to make it look like we're escorting him out, as in to make it look like he's not a danger.
Okay. Yeah. Easy enough to do. Your form basically belies that as like a natural state. So,
And I naturally would take up a stance in between him and the girl in front of the mother, so.
the girl's asleep.
Yeah,
Totally
I figured.
asleep. The mother Naya does recognize and sees him walking by. There's not a lot of recognition from her as to like what just happened by any means, but Lord Neruvan is a new arrival to Nicodranus. He was actually from Jorhas, a diplomat that grew in popularity here, and things have only gotten worse with him taking on the role of magistrate of commerce. The exploitation of workers and the exploitation of children as workers. She wraps her hand around daughter's head.
Is his first name Ondrak?
Her eyes shoot up to you. Yes. Although I guess his name is known.
There's a really big bounty on his head.
I'd imagine his father wants him. I'd imagine wants him alive, but judging by the kind of man he is, probably wouldn't matter either way.
The one that tried to stab you? Or
Ondrak?
almost
No. We
No,
were
the one
providing
upstairs.
refuge. We were providing refuge for Ondrak. The one upstairs is someone from the consortium. They were spouting off things about just looking for Ondrak and that we would be imprisoned if we didn't cooperate. And that's when my daughter did something, and that man, after he attacked me, cut me. That's when things get fuzzy. I'm sorry.
It was a guard that attacked you.
I don't think he was a guard. I think he works with the consortium. He said as much, but I don't think he's a guard.
Did you describe him?
I mean, he was upstairs. You would have seen him. Now, he was rather splattered against the wall, but it was easy enough to see that it was a half-elven male, kind of like dark auburn hair. Didn't really see eye color. Really difficult to tell the height, as the body was rather distorted. But he is still up there.
I can understand your weariness with politics and the reserve.
Yes,
Have you thought about... Now, I'm sure you have. But we are acquaintances with the Mage Darren. How would you feel about him?
The one in the Mage Tower?
Yes.
Oh, he I mean, he's outside of the consortium. He goes out of his way not to involve himself in all of the business of Nicodranus. He's actually had conflict with the consortium in the past, legal conflict. But from what I understand, he's very reclusive.
I feel like there could lie your hope for your daughter. And yourself. And he's very knowledgeable.
I think I'd trust that more than the reserve. And it's
We
not,
can put in the word for you, of course.
the reserve does great work around the world, but they're still beholden to the states in which they lie.
Well, luckily I'm not beholden to this one, and I show her my belt.
You're of the reserve.
I am. But as I said, I do what I believe is right, regardless of what they tell me, for that is why Ioun has me called.
Gonna roll a d20.
Oh, okay.
Because she's making a decision.
D20.
Oh no, I rolled a d20.
Oh, you did. Okay.
What the?
Sorry.
That's the same number.
Oh, it was
I
meant
rolled
to
a
be.
physical dice. It was meant to be. What the? Anyway,
7.
at a 7. I was saying above 11, below. All right, I'll trust you. Whichever you think is best.
I definitely understand the consortium being an issue. So I think Darren would really be your best possible outcome in the circumstance. And I can already tell you feel more comfortable with that decision.
I think so. I've never met him, but I've heard that he's, aside from being reclusive, he's calm and kind.
He's very
There's times where
understanding.
the unhoused in the city would gather at the foot of his tower, and he would provide a feast. Seems like a good man.
From what I've been told, he very much is. These here, gesturing to most of the rest of the party, have been with him for the past week. And I
All
trust
of you?
them. I trust them, except for that one there, pointing to the chief.
Chief, which I imagine you're kind of like halfway out the door, kind of like holding Zern outside.
Yeah, Master's helping me.
Okay.
Just
Oh, yeah.
keeping him in check, just to make sure.
Okay. Well, when would we go?
As soon as you're ready. No rush. I can stay with you until you're comfortable as well, if that would help.
There are some things that I need to gather, unfortunately, upstairs.
Turning back to the group and Zern. I take it your discussion went positively?
Very much so. We're taking him to a temple of Owlin to hopefully heal his mind, or at least start the process. I feel he has lots of knowledge and help he can provide the city.
I hope the best. And, if you don't mind, I think I'll stay with Naya and Marie until they're ready.
We shouldn't be long. I need to fix the cart anyway.
Quick question. Am I smaller to you guys?
And all of you
Everyone's
can
small
see.
to me.
All of you can see. Yes. By like
It's
5 inches.
okay. So was it just
Second.
his body, or did his clothes go with him? Or, like, is it just loose
Oh, no, the
clothing
clothes-
hanging on?
There's
No,
nothing
the-
wrong with that, my friend.
The clothes did not change. You are
Arni, I get that there's nothing wrong with being short, but there is for him. What happened?
I'm not one to speak on matters of size, and he just turns around back to Naya and Marie.
What happened?
It's going through Basil's mind right now as the room went.
I just remember helping the little girl, and then I just got smaller. I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna walk up and measure him to me. See how. Because you were how tall before?
I was 6 feet.
6
You were
feet?
6.
Okay.
Oh, you were shorter than me anyway. But now I'm like,
Yeah, now you're like chest height. Where you were here on Sashem, you're now chest height. It's pretty substantial.
How about we go inside or you take down the little cloaky thing and we'll see what else has changed.
Okay.
You still look like a Dragonborn, don't you?
It does right now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So you drop disguise self?
Yeah.
Okay. Sashem, what you do see, and if it's in view of anyone else, he's still a snake man, but the features are slightly more infantile. Slightly larger eyes in comparison to the head, softer features. The scales all look a little less worn by time and sands.
Have Chief or Ceradyn seen this yet?
No. And I imagine both of you would have awareness of Yuan Ti.
So I think you got younger. How
Since
do you
I
get
was
younger and I get older?
I was turned towards Marie and Naya.
And
If
see
I happen
more of
to
the world now?
glimpse and see him, I would probably jump, spin, turn around, pulling out my knife, standing on the back of this couch or table, whatever you said I was on. Like, oh,
okay,
what's going on here?
Nothing. He was in disguise
Chief
self
probably
earlier.
just in a almost type of a battle stance, but just more of a protective type.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of tension now in the room, and Naya is a little startled by what's happening.
It's okay.
Deep breath,
Naya.
guys. Deep breath. This is
I
who
already
he
threatened
is.
him, it's fine.
I don't breathe.
I don't.
Oh, that's right. Chief, I'm sorry. I'm not used to you being around anymore. I gotta get re-used to this.
Slipping my dagger back into its sheath, you have my apologies. I was startled, and I've not
It's a
heard
normal reaction
kind
that I've seen
things.
quite often.
Again, you have my apologies. I do not wish to judge you. And you have done nothing to cause me distrust at this point.
Sorry for keeping it a secret. It's better not to.
Understandable. I now know why.
Did you keep it a secret, or was it just a total accident? We got stuck in this loop and no one ever thought to go, hey, drop your disguised self.
Well, Sashem, you
I mean, it's better not to cause
for these
panic in the
people
streets.
that I've not heard before. I've not met them before, but you vouched for them. So did you, Zenesha. So I trust you.
I'm gonna walk over to Ceradyn and put my hand on his head and try and pet him and go, thanks. I appreciate you too.
Does that thing where
Dwarf."
owls put their head back in their body, like stab Sashem. Do it.
All right, boy. You can stop.
Oh, okay. But thanks, Savior.
What about
that means
what
a lot.
about Chief? How does Chief process this?
Well, for the outside of the, I don't know, 50 some odd hours he spent with them, figuring he's never done anything towards that would make him want to stop him from doing anything, and just kind of get out of his little defensive stance and just say, I'm going to start escorting him, Zern, to the temple and start walking that way.
All right, big guy, catch you at the cart. And I'm gonna
All
lean
right.
over to Basil and say, "You might want to put it back up now. I forgot."
Yes, I forgot as well in the excitement.
Also going to try to find a map on the way to the temple so I can get him to.
Okay. Just go ahead and roll an investigation check. Zenesha and Arni, what would you two be doing while these travels are happening? Oh, wow.
-3,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Oh no, 26. Yeah, you find a vendor. There's information kiosks in a couple of places on the way towards the temple in some of the more major city squares, and you're able to get a pretty detailed map of Nicodranus. But what would Arni and Zenesha be doing during?
I think the first thing that
Rest of the
Arni
group
would do
traveling.
is use his connections to kind of just make sure that the city square was safe and make sure that they weren't any beholders or crazy murderous bards or anything like that. Just get a
Okay.
feel
So
for any lingering chaos.
You're going to the city square alone?
Not heading there, just putting feelers out.
Just putting feelers out. Okay. I mean, the city square isn't far. You're basically just going like half a block and then looking down a street, and then you are kind of in the position where
Just
Ceradyn had
asking
intercepted
around.
that person. In looking down the city square, let me pull up my table. You don't see anything. The square looks empty. So, Zenesha, what are you doing?
She's gonna look at Basil quizzically. Do you feel less cursed than you did like an hour ago?
Less cursed.
He's gonna put a hand to his face, and be like, "No, still the same."
Okay. Just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Chief, as you're guiding Zern, he's quiet. He's contemplative, you can tell. He's sitting there, he scratches his head. Every once in a while, he kind of like slaps himself, picks at his fingernails constantly. There's a lot of nervousness about him.
well, Zern, as we're walking, I'm gonna have you mark things down when we get to the temple. But is there any place that stands out more than the other of where the white skull has shown itself?
And in handing him the map, he looks at it. He's going over it. And then, do you have a charcoal or a quill?
Yeah, I have a tinderbox, so I imagine there would be some sort of charcoal in there.
Okay.
So.
As he goes about marking the map, in the link I provided you, essentially every point of note is marked. And it takes him a good while to go through and think. It does give him focus for a moment.
Stupid thing, it's not showing me the map, it's just showing me the wiki.
Oh no, there's not an actual map.
Oh, okay.
But those points of note are.
Yeah, so like the docks and the wharf and.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much everything except the Tide Peak.
Okay.
Is all referenced.
Can I tell where something was maybe more like circled or X'd out a little bit more stronger than others, or
kind of like he was saying, there's no pattern. It's all over the place. And he marks a couple of places that are nearby. He marks some places that are off, out past the edges of the city. He even, marks and points to the floating fortress at one point. It's everywhere.
maybe you can remember this was the same amount of the people of the White Skull each time.
Oh, no, quite different endeavors every single time. Different every single time. Sometimes they destroyed the city. Sometimes they took someone. Sometimes they left behind weapons. Sometimes they do different every time.
Well, anything, that's more knowledge than we had 20 minutes ago. So this has been very helpful for us.
Good. Am I still going to the reserve?
No, we are heading to the Temple of Ayun. They may have ways of helping one's mind better than magic users or
as a point. There are cities that have a Temple of Ayun and a reserve as separate entities. It's the same thing here.
Oh,
Same
okay.
place.
Well, then yes.
Yes. The worship of Ayun is the preservation of knowledge. So making your way there, it's easy enough. There doesn't seem to be resistance from Zern all the way up until the point that comes into view, and then he stops.
What is wrong?
I'm afraid. For the first time in a long time, I'm afraid.
Well, I would say fear is good in this instance.
What? Fear?
Sometimes fear can lead you into dangerous areas unknowingly, but also fear can help you know the right way to go, or the right way to do things. Fear can also help provide courage.
Make a persuasion check.
-15 -3, 12.
7 plus 4 for 11 on insight. So. Very well. We will go.
All right. I'll make sure he stays a little ahead of me so he doesn't try to dart away.
Okay. You feel you with your words just then, that is exactly what you avoided. Stepping up to the gates, the two attendants, one of them cleaning up what looks to be kind of like a pile of unpotted flowers on the steps that have scattered dirt on them. They look up to you. Can we help you?
Yes, I'm here to speak with someone to help this man here regain his, I don't want to say sanity. He's regained some more better hold on his own mind. He's been through an ordeal.
Well, today is not a normal worship day. Are you acquainted with someone of the reserve?
I would like to show them whatever emblem I got from the Watchers.
It's a mark upon your body, if you remember.
Yes, I'll show them. I'll bring, just because I want it to be there, I want to bring out my shield and it'll be on the shield.
Okay. It's an acceptable place for it. Ah. Very well. And the doors are opened for you. And you are allowed in.
We'll go in and
I would like some clarity real quick.
Go ahead.
Who is with Chief and who is with Ceradyn?
Chief is alone.
Zern
Okay.
Ceradyn is with the family.
Yeah. Where is everyone else?
Almost Ceradyn. I mean, I never left wherever Basil
Okay,
is. I
right.
think we just stayed.
Okay,
Arni.
for some reason I was
Yeah.
confused, so
no, I took Zern away to help ease any tension.
yeah.
Right. Which, by the way, Zenesha, roll an intelligence check. Okay. You realize Cyrano's got a very, very specific potion. Up to you what you do with that.
Upon entering the reserve, is there someone here that can help with complications of the mind?
A ruddy-skinned elven woman turns, and I am attending here at the entrance. Is there something specific you're asking for?
This man here, as I motion to Zern, he has a lot of knowledge that could help maybe the reserve or even the city, but he has a hard time focusing on that knowledge from a ordeal that he just got done going through. So in order to keep his mind straight, he has tried everything except for maybe here. So I was wondering if you'd be able to help, if I can leave him in your care.
What is your name, sir? And he just says, it's Zern. Yours? I'm Michelle. Now, having some trouble with your mind? And at this point, Chief, Zern basically just collapses, sobbing, in almost agony. You can tell. It doesn't take a lot. The mind is fully broken at this point, and it looks like more so than ever before, he's fully aware of it. I can only imagine that kind of suffering. You don't know if this clarity will last, but she just very gently walks up to him, places a hand on his shoulder, gives a little squeeze, and he just collapses. I understand. Your name, sir?
You can call me Chief.
Chief. I think I understand what's going on here, and very much you could leave him in our care, and we will do our very best to help him. Preservation of knowledge, after all.
Which is why I thought to bring him here. So
I feel you made the right decision. She waves at a couple of other attendants who help to scoop him up. They actually just sit him on a chair there. And are you going to be sticking around, making your way back, or what?
I'm gonna make my way back to the cart. I'm gonna excuse myself and try to fix up whatever the yoke did. Shouldn't be too hard to fix up.
Right. You are making your way back. The rest of the group, what are all of you doing in this meantime? If nothing, then you'd just be hanging out until Chief gets back.
First,
Zenesha's gonna
Basil.
turn.
Oh.
Sorry.
First, Basil's gonna use the disguise self and become a Raven Knight this time, but
Okay.
a sandy coloration.
Okay. So a tailless Dragonborn.
Short, tailless Dragonborn.
Yeah, sure. See, and now, like, disguise self can make you appear a foot taller or shorter, but at any point, if there would be any, like, contact with the illusion where you're not, it would, like, immediately make it obvious. So, would be up to you if you're short.
He's gonna keep it as close as he can to his body to like make sure people don't find out it's an illusion.
Yep. And it's easy enough to do.
I think I would
Zenesha.
just be keeping close to Naya and Marie for hopefully their comfort. And if they needed me to help with anything that I could help with.
Okay. Zenesha.
And she's gonna slowly walk over to Naya. And you said you needed stuff from upstairs. Can I grab it for you?
Oh, yes. Slipped my mind again. I think I'm avoiding going up there. There's just clothes in the dresser and a couple of keepsakes, but I guess those can wait. That's
Okay,
all.
and she'll go up and pack as much as she possibly can.
Okay. And there are sacks and actually one rather fine leather suitcase. It's not quite like a like a travel case like we have now. It is a smaller suitcase, but it's fine leather, embossed, empty at the moment, but you do fill it, and a sack with clothes that are simple enough to find. And there, splayed on the wall, is the remains of whoever this was that are beginning to slough off onto the ground. Yeah, but each sickening thud on the ground, a little bit of a reminder as to what happened here.
Maybe we should like burn this place to the ground.
I don't think you're there.
Sure,
Yeah,
in the middle of the city. Let's burn something.
No, Arnie's still there.
I thought he was downstairs.
That's right, Arni. He went off to the city square.
Oh, that's right. He's not even in the house.
Which,
If I can find anything that looks like a keepsake, I'll put it in there as well.
okay, just make an investigation check for me. Arni, make a wisdom saving throw.
That's never a good thing. Why can't they be like a
13.
wisdom happiness throw?
You don't know that that's not what's happening.
That's also not a good result. That's a 10.
And
Yeah,
you know,
euphoria
it's
before
funny.
you die.
It's funny that you say that, Arni, because just this sense of warmth and contentment and happiness just washes over you, and it's just, today is a good day. This has all been such a great experience. You want to go talk to the others. You want to make them feel just as happy as you are. That's all.
I'm on my way to go
Zenesha.
find the others.
Zenesha, you do find a couple of knickknacks, a small handmade doll that is like wooden body sections but lashed together with twine, braided yarn hair. Just a couple of things that look like they'll help to increase the comfort of wherever these two go. But you do know that the moment they're within the tower, if Darren allows it, and have all of that magic at their disposal, they will want for nothing. But having the real thing matters. Chief, you return the cart. And it is where you left it. There's a couple of kids that are climbing on it. 2 or 3 that you can see at this point.
Well, I'll just walk up calmly. Is it boys, girls, what?
Mix.
Children, you like having fun on a big metal contraption with wood?
And they all rapidly turn at you and look like they're about to bolt.
Don't worry, it's okay. In fact, you might be able to help me out.
What? We can help?
Yeah.
One of them, a half-orc girl, looks to be about 4 years old. She's barely keeping up with what is a 6 and a 9-year-old. The 6-year-old-ish looks to be a half-elf boy, and then the 9-year-old is another half-orc who, he's in rags. He's not dressed well. He kind of steps down and puts himself between you and the other two and says, "What's in it for us?"
I'll give you each a fun little gift to go get yourself something if you want.
How much are we talking?
How much are candied apples here?
A couple copper? You gonna give us enough to get candied apples? And the other two, their eyes light up and they look at you.
I don't see why not. You look like good young kids to help out with this.
Oh yeah, we'll do whatever it takes. Let's do this. What do you need?
All right. You 3 go up and sit right there and hold the reins for me.
They look elated at that. It looks like that's the one place they were avoiding up to this point, and all 3 of them clamber. The older boy helping the others to climb first. And then he climbs up behind them, and he sits in between the 2 of them, helping them to hold the reins.
I'll have Master go to the back and tell him to clamp on like the bumper of it, and then I'll get in front of the hogs and say, "All right, let's get this so we can work on it." And I'll just, "All right, guys, pull backwards." And as I just kind of pull out of the weird area.
I need you to make an animal handling check. It's kind of in contest against their animal handling checks. Let's see what happens.
You got 2, but with Master's help.
they 2 of them just rolled natural 20s at a 12. Okay. Exactly as you desired. Until, as you're pushing, your hand slips off of the yoke and kind of smacks Grunt in the face. And he rears back and starts to pull off to the side, and all of the kids freeze and pull and lock up on the front. What are you doing? Because if something isn't done right now.
I'm yelling at Master to hold steady in the back, and then I'm just gonna freaking put my arm headlock Grunt and just say, "Whoa, boy."
Okay, make a athletics check. Ooh, he rolled low. Grunt rolled low.
I rolled worse.
You okay? This is interesting. You go to wrap around, and he slips out a little too easily, and he is starting to pull the opposite direction. He's starting to pull forward while see Grunt and Brute. So Brute is pulling back as you had initially commanded, and the cart is starting to twist.
At this
if
moment,
something doesn't change, something's gonna break.
I'm gonna cast command, yelling halt.
Okay. It's a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah. You need to be a 12.
That's a 3. Brute finally just freezes. For a moment, at least. You would know that command does not last long.
Is it out far enough that we could probably look at it?
It should be.
All right, children, go ahead
away.
and get off for a moment. Why make sure he's calmer?
A little shaken, they do climb down, but then once they're off, there's kind of like this knowing look between them, and they're just like, yes.
All right, just give me a moment to make sure he's calm enough. And then there's one more thing you could possibly help out with.
As the command spell fades, and there's no more tension on the reins to inspire any kind of response. There's agitation, but he's not pulling the cart anymore.
I'm gonna take a look from where I can see without crawling under where the yoke might be twisted or cracked or anything. And if I can't see, I was gonna see if one of the kids could take a quick look.
Okay, just go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Dirty 20 with my -3.
Okay. So it looks like all that had happened was the clasp that kind of locks around their neck. And you have a little bit of benefit yoking automaton. They don't have to breathe. And you made them kind of to fit the yoke rather than the yoke fitting them.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like just a little bit of metalwork, maybe with some help from someone in the party, and things should be good to go. It was definitely in a position where if you guys had continued to try to use it, it likely wouldn't have been good. Something would have broken worse.
Would I be able to roll it over to where they're at now? No, that I got
Carefully,
it out. Okay.
but yes.
I'll walk up to the kids. Are you all brothers and sisters?
We might as well be. The other two haven't really said anything to you yet. The older half-orc boy is the one that's been speaking the whole time.
You all
We don't
live
have
in
parents.
You all live in the same home then, or on the street?
And there's a little bit of like a dubious, he's looking around, looks ashamed. We're on the street.
Oh, there's no need to be ashamed of that. Let's see what we can do to help you out. And I'm gonna have them get in the cart while I drive this time, carefully.
Okay. Happily, again, they climb in and they do sit down.
And then I'll start heading towards where the rest of the group is while looking for the treat stand and anything that may look like something that would help them be off the streets.
You do know that you're probably only about probably like 600 or 700 feet away from that house. You don't recall anything in between here and there unless you wanted to go through the city square where all the things happened.
Still weary of all the times stuff happened in the square. I would not want to go back through the square.
Okay.
So you said there's 3 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
4-ish, 6-ish, and 9-ish.
Well, I'll take them as far as the house where everybody else is.
Okay.
And kind of park the thing out front and say, all right, here is your reward. I'll give them, between the 3 of them, I'll give them each 3 coppers, and the oldest boy a 4th one to make it a full silver, basically.
Okay, gotcha. They look elated. You see all 3 of them almost at the same time take the copper and bite it and try to bend it.
Oh, it's real.
Okay.
And then wait right here for a moment, as I instruct them to kind of wait by the door in front of the house, and I'll go back in.
Okay. You would be kind of pulling in and walking in at the same time as Arni. Arni, you want everyone to feel like this. You just want to hug. You just want to hug everybody. It's just so nice that everybody's around. You just want to hug them.
Do I know that I met anybody?
No, you didn't meet anybody in the city square.
Guys, life is just so good. Isn't it just a great day?
What's gotten into him? What'd you eat?
I don't know, but I could use a drink. Come on, I'm buying.
I'm gonna grab onto him.
Ceradyn
Can I
is
drink at this
immediately going to.
He grabs me, and I'm just gonna give him Sashem a huge hug.
All right, Sashem, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, great.
Ceradyn is immediately contemplating how long we've been here.
18.
How long we've been here? I mean, given that Chief had to go like a mile out on foot and back while also doing other things, it's been like 45 minutes. It's been a while.
Okay. Basically, his brain was
Sashem.
like, "Oh no, weird things. I wonder if we're still in a loop." That's what his brain went through right there.
Yeah. Sashem, you feel something attempt to enter your mind, but you shake it off.
Is it kind of similar what happened? Is that kind of similar to what happened? Is this feeling the same as what happened with Lana?
I mean, you can tell it's along the same lines, but not quite.
I'm just
More
gonna cast Dispel
visceral than
Magic.
that. So you're just gonna woof.
I'm just gonna woof it. Because I just don't like the feeling.
Now, Arni, you see Sashem go to start casting a spell directed at you, and it makes you furious.
That's not very nice. And Arni is... Since Arni has a hold of Sashem, Arni is probably going to cast Shatter.
Okay.
A nice Shatter bear hug.
Well, that's going to be interesting. Sashem, go ahead and roll a d20 plus your spellcasting modifier for the Dispel Magic. And then Arni, what's the save that's necessary for Sashem?
14 con save.
Okay. 14 con
Ow.
save from you, Sashem.
Yeah, not one for me.
Uh-huh. Yep, I saw that.
Oh, yeah, okay, great. That's fantastic. Con save, you said?
Mm-hmm.
No, equally as crappy.
Oh, Arni,
9
go
points
ahead and roll the
damage.
damage for Shatter.
9 points.
What do you have on you that's not magical, Sashem?
My armor's not magical.
That's a big one. What else?
I would say all of his clothing, probably.
Yeah, Shatter, the interaction with clothing is not necessarily...
I mean, everything else is
Yeah.
besides my rapier. My rapier is magical, but other than that, everything else is in the bag of holding too. So
She does.
Okay,
She
so
does have a ring on that's magical.
yes, but it's things that are not magical that matter right now. The roll a d20.
a
15. Okay. There is this loud in the room as thunderous energy pours from Arni into you, and it's loud enough that everybody has to kind of cover their ears for a moment. Marie is actually startled awake. Naya turns with her and tries to cover her. You take the damage. Your armor doesn't break, but you can feel it shift and like it's ringing and vibrating for a moment on your skin.
Did that dispel magic actually cast?
Mm-hmm.
But nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Not on a 1.
Great. Oh, well, that's peachy keen, because now I'm going to Sacred Flame him. I'm going to be mad. You don't mess with my armor, bro.
Well, because, I mean, we're kind of in initiative here, so is anyone else doing anything?
Yes. Of course.
I'm making sure the kids outside don't come inside.
Yeah, there's just a loud clang from inside. But Basil, Chief, Ceradyn, Zenesha.
Zenesha's going down the stairs at this point.
Oh yeah, you'd be coming down the stairs carrying a bag and a suitcase with your thingamabobs.
I don't know what's happening, but you better get him in check. Naya, let's get Marie outside. Zenesha will finish grabbing your things. And I'm going to try to usher her around to get her out.
Okay, so that movement is starting. Chief, you're kind of just keeping the doorway.
Yeah, I'm just making sure the kids I brought along with me aren't going to be walking into this situation. And,
okay.
I'm going to use up my last second level slot to cast a second level command.
Okay.
On both.
What is the command?
It's going to be on both Sashem and Arni, because I can do 2 of them at second level.
Okay. And what's what word?
Let's see.
STAHP, stab.
Stab it.
I am going to yell grovel.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw from both of you. From Sashem and Arni.
21.
Sashem, you're good. Arni, you're good.
Wait.
Both resist.
Minus what stuff?
Oh, Arni, you have some exhaustion, do you not? 2?
Yes, let me look that up.
Your head getting blown off and the tidal wave, right? Oh, and the Bard of Night, so that's 3.
Oh, I'm at 4.
4, okay. So what was that last one? Oh, the Pit Fiend. That's right. So you're at 4 points of exhaustion. So you definitely failed the wisdom save earlier.
11 for this one.
11.
The command,
yes.
Which means he falls prone and ends its turn.
Yes. So, yep, Arni, you are forced. Your will is forced, and you kind of just bow down to the ground. Sashem, we're back around to you.
Great. I'm just going to kick him now, because at least Chief has control of him, but he still went to mess up my armor. So I'm not as angry as Sacred Flame anymore, but I'm definitely going to kick him.
Okay, just roll an unarmed strike.
Try and hold them back.
Yeah, considering you haven't taken a turn yet, you could step in. So
totally.
This would be a contested strength check, which is at disadvantage for Basil.
20 for me. My unarmed strike was 20.
The blacksmithing adventurer's body against a 12-year-old snake. It's going to be definitely in favor of the adventurer. So Basil, it's an odd experience because you know that in your previous form you would have been able to apply a lot of force. And this is like, and it just doesn't do what you expect. The unarmed strike at advantage since he's prone.
That'd be a 25.
Yeah, minus your exhaustion, but still hits.
I only have 2 points of exhaustion.
Right. What's your strength mod? That's how much damage it would be.
Oh, strength mods +3?
+3? Okay. 3 damage, Arni. And as you come into contact with him, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, mother lost. 9.
it's just so good. It's just working these things out, just getting on the right level with each other and
It's so good to be
working out the
happy.
problems. And both of you immediately feel each other, and it's like, yeah, this is resolved. We're in a good place now.
That kick was good, right? It was so good. So good.
I've never felt a better kick in my life.
It's a great kick. Great kick.
You've got
Nice.
quite a strong leg on you.
Thanks. I'm surprised you took it. That was really, really good on you.
It's that dwarven fortitude.
Definitely. And
Arnie's
I'm
having
tapping
this
him on the shoulder.
conversation.
Yeah,
laying
have
down on the
another
ground.
kick at me.
Oh, that's such a good idea. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to kick him again.
Right here.
Oh, he's still laying down on the ground, so it's an advantage again. Chief, what was it you were doing?
I'm just watching the conversation is hilarious because Arnie's basically bowing down to me, and Zenesha's there kicking him. Not Zenesha, Sashem.
What's your AC, Arni? Yeah.
It's without the shield, I think it's 18.
So I think that's a
Minus-
miss then.
It is because of my 2 points of exhaustion.
Yeah. So kind of just clang on the armor is all.
That one missed. I can't believe it.
Without
It's that
your shield,
dwarven
it's an
porter
18
shoot.
DC? Holy crap.
Well, all this thick armor just absorbs it,
Yes, and I'm gonna try and pull off one of his armor pieces, like undo it and pull it off to examine it.
I'm gonna
Okay,
haul
you
it
can-
to Ceradyn, get them in, get the kids outside and those two in the cart for safety.
Yeah, that kind of would have happened during how this conversation has started. They've piled into the cart, and Naya Ceradyn, as here leading her out, she's like, "Who are you people?"
Sometimes they make me ask that same question. As he ruffles his feathers and hops up on the cart with her.
They do climb up alongside. But they're inside. Sashem, Arni, everybody should feel like this.
Everybody should feel like this. Zenesha, can I get a hug? And
No.
Sashem, after being not really knowing anything about the armor or paying attention to it, is gonna throw it back to Arni and then try and go over and hug Zenesha.
I think Ceradyn would pop, as he went past Chief before getting in the cart, would be like, "Something's not right. Please. I've got the children and Naya. Please help them."
That's the plan.
Well, Sashem's going for a hug. Zenesha, you're avoiding it, right?
Uh-huh.
Dexterity saving throw against a melee attack.
Would it just be unarmed strike?
Yeah, that's unarmed strike.
Is it a disadvantage?
And yes, you have danger sense, so that is at advantage.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know
Nat
because she was
20.
carrying all that stuff.
Ah,
It goes
crap.
down to
Mine's a
21 with
16.
my exhaustion.
Mine's a 14.
Yep. So you dodge out this turn. What's going on? Arni.
I'm just gonna turn around and do it again. Come on! I'm just gonna follow her around.
Arnie's gonna try to grab that friendly-looking little bird.
You're inside on
bird's
the
outside.
cart, so you can't.
Well,
So
then
Basil
the
and Chief
friendly-looking
are
little-
accessible.
Is the robot? Yes, the friendly-looking little robot.
The little robot that you're up to
Little.
his waist.
And I'm at the door.
Just
Yep, you
so
start
much
stepping
more
towards him.
robot to love.
Okay,
How
Chief, you gonna
was
let him?
he? Well, it depends. How far was his movement?
Well, you had said that you had bent down to kind of observe the conversation, so you're close. And this house isn't over 30 feet in any direction, so. But he's approaching you.
I'm gonna cast command again, Adam.
Okay. Arni, wisdom saving throw. Minus your 4 points of exhaustion.
They're supposed to be my specialty.
Not when you're
Saying,
absolutely
No.
exhausted, but
Oh,
it
that
doesn't
gonna
seem
take
to
flee.
affect
That's a
Arni.
21, even after the -4.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't
was
seem
gonna
to
yell-
affect him.
I was gonna yell flee.
Okay, unarmed strike. Unarmed strike, Arni.
He's swinging at me.
He's trying to hug you, or you're trying to hug him.
I see.
To do a saving throw, right?
-4, so 18. Yeah, so 18 against your dex saving throw. To avoid. Minus your exhaustion. I know dex is
that's a
definitely your
negative.
strong save.
It's -2.
So a big giant hug. He wraps around your waist, and Arni, it's cold, but you know that deep inside there's a warm heart. I need a wisdom saving throw, Chief.
-19 -3. 16.
Just makes it. You resist the effects. You feel it start to infiltrate your mind. Same thing that seems to have taken hold of Sashem and Arni, but you shrug it off.
I want to look over at Zenesha. We need to knock these guys out.
Sweet.
Do I actually have him in a hug?
You do. You have him grappled right now.
The way
You
I'm
are
going-
just the warmest little robot I've ever hugged in my life.
Okay, how tall are you, Arnie? I want to get a visual of this.
5 foot.
Okay, I am 7
So
foot and a
he's-
half. You're at my belly button.
Yeah, his ears like on your belly. And he's just wrapped around you, and he's like, "Oh."
Okay, so what I am going to do?
Well, your like turn in this is kind of shifted.
Yeah,
So
I know.
Basil, you're watching all of this take place. What are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna go upstairs and just hope this passes.
Okay. Okay. Yep. You just wander upstairs. You have enough movement to get up the stairs and get in full view of the scene up there. All right, Ceradyn, what are you doing?
Do I see... How much of this weirdness am I seeing after I've ushered people out?
I mean, you can hear the conversation, and it's odd.
Turning to the 3 other children that look street urchinish, I guess.
Very much so.
And looking at Naya. You 3. You seem real smart. I think there's some weird magic happening right now. And if you can get these 2 and me to a safe area, I'll give you a silver.
And so at the like strange magic and stuff like that, the half-orc boy is just not really acknowledging you. But then when you say 1 silver, I mean, I know a place. I can take us somewhere.
All right, let's get somewhere safe.
Okay. It's not far. It's only a block over. And he hops off. And could this be Naya, Marie, yourself, and the 3 kids?
Yep.
Okay. Beginning to move.
Because I am
Sashem.
assuming everyone else has control of the situation, but it's weird, and I don't want Naya freaking out.
She's a little perturbed anyway, but
Of course.
Sashem, you know, Zenesha's avoiding the truth. You just gotta get through to her. There's a deep connection that's missing right now. You just gotta touch. Just gotta touch to bring the two of you together.
Oh yeah, I'm still going for her. I think she's cute for jumping away. You'll feel much better. Come on. All the happiness in the world. Let's do this. And then he's just gonna saunter over and be like, and I mean, run if he has to, but
Okay, Zenesha, what's your movement speed?
40.
Oh, so you do start moving. Zenesha, if you would like to, you can move just inherently faster to keep distance. Unless you'd like to do something else.
She got permission to knock him out. So,
Yes, you did.
the time loop dagger, the good one that she's still trying to figure out if it does something special or not. She's just gonna, like, with the blunt end, smack
Okay.
Sashem as hard as possible at the top of the head to try and knock him out.
Yay,
Okay.
pommel strike.
So go ahead and roll that attack. And then Sashem, roll an unarmed strike for a grapple again against Zenesha's.
Oh, no.
So that's
so
a
you know,
miss.
that's the soft spot. Very much a miss. Mine's a miss.
You get a dexterity saving throw, still at advantage because of danger sense. But you're still within melee of Sashem. I imagine you'll make this. Minus what?
-1, so 15.
-1. Okay, yeah. And Sashem's is a 10. So, yeah, no problem at all. You're still, the same song and dance. Arni, Chiefs is right there. He's being resistant. He's being resistant to you being open about your feelings, but you know that if you can just keep a hold of him, that you'll get through.
Chief, I think if you just let the happiness in, you'll be so much happier. I think just let yourself feel how good of a day it is.
Still grappled. But, Chief, what are you doing before your wisdom saving throw?
I'm gonna look down and I know we just met like a while ago, but sorry about this, and I am gonna be casting Shocking Grasp.
I was like, wait, those Shacking Grasp. I love it. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage because you're in contact. It's automatic.
I do want to see if it's a crit though.
Of course, yes.
It is not a crit, but it hits.
It's not a crit. Yep. Automatic hit because of grappling. Go ahead and roll damage.
7 lightning damage, which he is wearing armor,
Yes.
which is
He's
metal.
wearing metal.
So would that be doubled? Or
The
no?
dice would be doubled, yes. So it'd be, instead of 4, it'd be 13. So 13 points of lightning damage, Arni.
And then
And you feel the emotion of Chief pour into you.
and then as a
Now that's not very nice.
bonus action, I also have harvesting. I'm using my channel divinity
Okay.
to do harness divine power, which grants me a 2nd level spell slot back.
Okay. We're recovering a spell slot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the end of that, Chief, make your wisdom saving throw.
It's not magical sleep, is it? No.
No, it is not. You are just filled with joy that Arni has finally broken down your walls, and you're just ready to be open and honest with him.
Doesn't it just feel so good?
Honestly, I don't know what it feels like. I've never felt this before.
Oh, you did?
You got quiet.
Let's go grab the others and go grab a drink. It's just such a good day.
All right.
At this point, the three of you, or the two of you, turn to see Sashem walking at Zenesha, who's backpedaling but trying to whack her. So, Zenesha, what are you doing?
Well, I gotta deal with the one in front of me first. So,
Very much so.
am I able to tell that Chief has been overcome by whatever this is, too?
Let's see. Yeah, because you were kind of you jumped over the couch. You're looking that direction, kind of backpedaling against Sashem. So yeah, you can see. And Chief is there, like pushing him off, trying to fight him, and then just gets very, very relaxed, as much as an automaton can be.
Okay, so there's a couch in between me and everyone else?
You're kind of along the back side of it. Now everybody's kind of in a line. Now.
How sturdy is this couch? Can I lift it and throw it at them?
I mean, it's not like a fantastic couch, but it's, yeah, you could throw it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and throw it at them.
Okay. Just go ahead and make an unarmed strike. You don't necessarily have the improvised weapons feat, so. Does a 15 hit anybody?
No.
I would assume my shield is down. Give me a second. I gotta unequip it to know for sure.
And Sashem, I know you're higher than that, so. Well, 15
Yeah, I
minus
got
1, so
armor on.
14. Yeah.
14 is... Nope, sorry, wrong button. 16.
16, okay. Yeah, it kind of, the Shem shifts and it gets knocked off of him and just crashes out into the middle of the room. Sashem.
Perfect! Now there's nothing between us. Come on. I'm gonna go for her again.
Okay, unarmed strike against dexterity saving throw at advantage.
That would be a
Ooh.
21. I just looked it
Ooh.
up and I actually have 3 points of exhaustion, so.
Finally, Sashem lunges and wraps around you in a tight hug. Zenesha, make a wisdom saving throw.
Because I'm so good at those.
Yep.
Yay! Yay, Barbarian! Woohoo!
It's just so nice. So nice. Well, all of those lessons on foraging last week with Sashem just built such a camaraderie. It's nice to just embrace for a moment.
Man, Shem, I love you too.
Yeah! So great! Arni,
Basil?
let's go get that drink. Oh, we forgot about
You-
Basil.
Let's do it.
Yeah. No, none of you have forgotten about Basil.
Oh.
Ooh.
Basil!
Yep. You hear what sounds like furniture being thrown around, and then the conversation continues as you heard. This house is small enough that it's pretty easy to kind of hear what's going on. It appears things have not resolved themselves. The four of you downstairs, you know where Basil is.
Run up the stairs. Just bolting.
I'm gonna look
I'm
up.
gonna try and beat her. I'm gonna be like,
I'm just gonna
Okay.
look up. I'm just gonna look
Go ahead.
up. Is the floor made out of wood?
Yes.
Basil, come here. I'm gonna look
Not a
up
hugging person.
and cast pulse wave at the floor to
Okay.
break a hole in it.
Just go ahead and roll damage. There's
doing that.
it's not a particularly
It's 11
not
damage.
a particularly sturdy floor. You come to find out as
So, floor
Basil,
stand.
the floor you're standing on. You don't take the full 11 damage. I actually need a dex save, or is it con save, Tyler?
Con save.
So a con save from you, DC
It's a
14.
magic attack.
Yeah, it is a magic attack.
That would be a 21.
Okay.
Definitely saves.
So you don't take any of the damage because it would have been half through the floor, but you kind of hardened yourself against it. But the floor does erupt from beneath you. You are blasted up 2 or 3 feet into the air, and you are about to fall through the floor directly on top of Chief. As the wood peels away, you just see Chief, and his visor, which is normally a solid color, just looks like a smile. So, dexterity saving throw or acrobatics.
I do not want a hug. That is a 9.
No, you come crashing down directly on top of Chief.
It's my boy!
Correct. Yeah, like a dad catching his son that he just threw up in the air. Dexterity saving throw from you, Chief, to not get knocked down. And Zenesha, you're basically reaching the top of the stairs right when this is happening. See Basil.
I wanted to hug him!
Yeah, Basil, you come, and you actually lose your balance, Chief, and end up on your back. Need a wisdom saving throw, Basil.
As that happens, Shem's gonna be like, "Oh, me too!" And I'm gonna run over and try and grab him.
7.
Oh man!
I don't know if you guys have looked in the video
Sorry,
chat,
actually it's 6.
but that's pretty much us right now.
Yeah, how little you know. Basil, you're just so happy. You've not been a huggy person, but that just changed.
For being a metal man, you have the softest hands.
Cyrnos, you're probably the group of you would be Ceradyn, sorry. You guys are arriving at
Let's go get Cyrnos too.
teleport to Singorn right now.
That's a bloody good idea. Let's get Ceradyn.
Now, none of you do know where Ceradyn is, but you could look. Ceradyn, the urchins, as you put it, do lead you to this alleyway which turns behind a row of homes. This back alley that there is stone walls keeping it from being like a continuous line, and there's a hovel set up. It's actually, it's obviously going to be like a single 8x8 room, but it is hidden away. It is quiet. There are actually a couple of provisions locked away in there.
I've lived like this similarly in the past, so...
Very much so.
Now I know no one will find us here because I was once like you.
And nobody looks for people in the shit, the older half-orc says.
I know. Thank you. Is it okay that we stay here for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, what's going on?
Flick a silver over to him.
Oh, wow. Never had one of these. That's cool.
I know you use it wisely. Because I did.
Gotta eat. All right. And he rushes inside, tucks it away somewhere. Ceradyn, as you turn your attention to where you just came from, and also fall into reminiscing about your past, as the rest of the Forge Force begins to consider finding Ceradyn and just sharing the love. We're going to take a 10-minute break.
Okay.
Immortal. Immortal.
Alright.
All
Be
the
back.
love. Let's share.
One of us. One of us.
Hurry, I'm fat. I can't jump fast.
I'm good.
And we are back. Oh, guys, it is just such a great day. The city is in front of you. All these people to help spread love to. But Ceradyn's missing. Your friend is missing. How are you guys going to find him?
Ceradyn! We don't want to play hide and seek. Come out.
Okay, yelling this out. Ceradyn, make a perception check.
I think Arni would cast sending at this point, asking him to come and meet with the group because we'd really like to get together as a group.
Okay.
Perception. That is a dirty 20
It's
minus
enough,
my
yeah.
3. It's a 17.
Yeah. So you hear Zenesha yelling out. You hear your name. Arni, what would your sending entail?
The message would be something along the lines of, we'd all feel so much happier if we were all together.
A voice invades your mind, Ceradyn.
Do I know I can respond to this? Can I respond to this?
You do.
In my brain?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Been the recipient of sending before.
Yeah, okay.
Make sure you mark up that spell, Arni.
My response would be, there seems to be some magic afoot upon you, and I wish not to risk it while trying to protect these people. Perhaps we can hug later. That's it. Trying to appease him ever so slightly.
Would him saying that there's magic on me, would that trigger anything?
Nope. It's just the magic. It's just the magic of friendship. Doesn't phase you in the slightest. You don't realize it now, but there is this rationalization that is applied to everything. It just makes sense. Who else is doing what?
Should gather a bunch of people together just to have a citywide search.
Why not a citywide hug?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do a citywide hug. That's so great. That'll make everybody feel better.
Everybody gets to feel better.
Okay.
No, that wouldn't work.
You gonna start venturing out into the city?
Mhm.
Okay. Sashem, Basil, walking out into the city.
Must have
At this
locked
point-
doors.
Yeah, well, many doors are already open, you find. And some people stepping out smiling.
Come here.
And hugs all around, happy and excited to see each other, regaling each other of stories as you walk along, knocking on more doors. Just roll a D100 for me, Sashem, as you're the one that... Actually, Basil, you're the one that said a citywide hug, right? Yeah, so it's you. D100 from you.
He said citywide search. I said citywide hug. I
Yeah,
turned it into a citywide hug.
22. You make it through about 22 homes. Most of them are already part of the fold. A couple, they resist at first, but once you get a hold of them, you guys are so much more powerful. You have the ability to spread this gift of happiness, that you are able to bring it into their home and give it to them. Ceradyn, there is a commotion in the home directly adjacent to the entryway that you guys took to get in here. And then it goes silent. And you hear Zenesha exclaim, "On to the next one!"
I have a question.
Go ahead.
This doesn't make me incapacitated, right?
Nope.
Okay. So Master is just following me around like a puppy.
Yes, he is. Highly confused. Quite the opposite of incapacitated. You feel light on your feet.
Also, everybody that we reach out to, or that we hug, or that I'm gonna start telling them, hey, let's meet city center. We're gonna have a citywide hug, heal from all this gunk and yucky.
And you don't even need a persuasion check, as it's such a great idea.
If only there was like some sort of like happiness substance we could put in everybody's wine or something and we'll all drink at the same time.
Happiness. You don't spread happiness. We're already spreading happiness with hugs. Wine comes later. Hugs first.
You know,
And then
Arni,
the happy wine.
when you think about that, Arni, there might be a way to dissolve this feeling into the drinking water. There might be a way. Maybe there's some other people, maybe some alchemists would be able to help with something like that.
My brain probably went to the same place as George's did just right now.
We could get a hold of that Furbolg and he could help us. And then maybe Darren could help spread it too.
Have we met a Furbolg in Nicodranus?
So you
The
guys gonna try
Furbolg
to
potion
find the
maker.
Nicodranus cowman?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't think we found one in Nicodranus, did we?
I'm
Not yet.
just
He was,
gonna be walking
Not yet.
around
he was
trying to keep an eye out for
between the Wyvern Gates and Nicodranus.
Yeah, but we'd have to go backwards. We gotta find this cowman. So yes, I'm with that too. Let's go find the cowman.
Chief, go ahead and just make a perception check as you're going along. And Zenesha, go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage.
17 plus 3 minus 3 is 17.
Ceradyn, I need a stealth check from you. And the kids and Naya are also going to make stealth checks. Because this conversation is happening directly. So that's 1 fail and 1 success. 2 successes. So as long as you don't roll a 1, okay. Group stealth check is sufficient. They do not notice where you are. You know that they're close. You can hear your group speaking. You also heard very clearly exactly what they said they were going to do. The investigation check. That was at advantage, right? Okay.
Yes, it was.
Setting off into the city as a group. It takes a good amount of time before you see a group of about 40 people, arms outstretched, following this cowman who is hurriedly pulling his cart away from them. He's doing his best to keep his distance. Looks like they might be gaining, but he's there.
Do I notice the commotion moving away from the area?
Oh yeah, it's when someone new is affected, there's quite a outburst of joy.
Boisterous.
Yes. Go ahead, Zenesha.
How far is he from me?
Probably about 35, 40 feet away from you right now. And he's in motion.
She'll dash after him.
Okay.
And once he's within 15 feet, we'll cast Lightning Lure to make sure he can't
Okay. What's the save for that? Or is it an attack?
It's a strength save of 16.
Okay, here we go. See if you guys can poison the water supply. That's a 7.
So I am resisting the urge big time for pressing a sound bar thing. By the
Yeah,
way.
let's not.
Every time we convert someone to the happiness.
Need the Age of Empires. Yeah, he is pulled to you away from the cart, and he goes, no, not like this, not like this.
Directly into a hut.
Go ahead and roll an unarmed strike.
Zenesha, the Barbarian Jedi.
He rolled a 12.
15.
Okay, he's going to attempt to resist. Okay, he does resist. You have him grappled.
Yes, I'm
But
gonna
he-
keep grappling him.
And at this point, I imagine Basil, Sashem, Arni, you're catching up and
Group hug.
piling on.
Group hug.
The group hug seems to immediately break down any ability to resist. And oh, this is so good. And he wraps his arms around all of you and brings you in a warm embrace. Ceradyn, what are you doing at this point?
So the noise has kind of died down and distanced itself from us, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
there seems to be a dispersion.
And can I see the Mage's Tower from where we are? Over the buildings?
Yeah, quite easily. As with the illusion, which, once upon a time, the illusion was that the tower was practically invisible on the horizon, has been reversed, and instead the tower appears monstrous on the city skyline at a distance, and then becomes normal as you approach it. So,
Okay.
quite simple to see it.
Okay. So I want to turn to Naya and the kids. Now, we should be safe here for a while. I know you know how to hide, turning towards the kids. Naya. I need to get a, for lack of a better term, bird's eye view on the situation.
Okay. I don't understand what's happening. This has been so much.
Today has been a lot. And I don't know what's happening either. But I have a feeling if we can make it to the Mage's Tower, we will be safe there. I don't know why. I have confidence in the brief things I was told about the Mage's Tower.
Okay.
And my friends are affected. I'll be right back. I'm just going to shoot up into the air, see what I can see, and then hopefully...
It seemed like touching was doing something to everybody.
Yes. I mean, it did seem nice, but they were not themselves. Just so we're clear, they are not like this all the time.
Okay. We'll wait here.
I will be right back.
Make a persuasion check. and then an insight.
That's a 13. And an insight.
Okay.
8.
Setting off into the air.
Yeah, after she told me that,
Okay.
yeah. And I'll shoot up. Not like directly up into the air because I don't want to be a beacon to anyone who's looking up. But up to rooftops,
Right.
you know, behind stacks or whatnot to try and get a look around things. And
Yeah.
I would like to use the eyes of Avalia when I'm up there. Because
Okay,
they
so go
discern
ahead and roll.
illusions and invisibility, you know, stuff like that. So
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll perception check with advantage plus proficiency.
okay. Advantage.
Or investigation. I guess it's up to you.
Both 14s. 21
Minus.
minus 3 plus 3, so
Plus.
21.
Okay. Okay. It takes you about 4 or 5 minutes, kind of moving stealthily, operating off of the same stealth roll, from rooftop to rooftop. It's not hard to discern very, very quickly that epicentered again from this city square, or rather, the building that the girl was in. People were just kind of leaving, spreading away. In getting closer to one of them, there is this pink, ethereal creature that has wrapped its tendrils around, and like one of the things goes up into the nose, another one looks like it's going into the eye socket, and it's just kind of... It's on everyone.
Ooh. Oh dear. And it's like a radiation coming outward from the girl's house, basically.
Yeah. There's just all of the people that were there looks like they're exploring.
All right.
Looking for
I
more
want
people.
to head back to Naya and Marie.
Okay. Easily enough. They are still there. They're just waiting. You've only been gone for, 6 or 7 minutes at this point. And they see you flutter down and land on the ground. What did you see? What's going on?
Whatever is happening is emanating from your house. Tell me, is your refugee friend still there? Is he there?
No. We had given him refuge 5 or 6 days ago. It wasn't any time recent.
Was there... Did he give you anything to remember him by?
No. As far as I
Nothing.
know, he didn't leave anything with us, but
Okay.
I couldn't answer knowingly.
That's perfectly understandable. I was trying to figure out why I'm seeing what I saw. But
What?
it seems to be safe if we were to try and move around where the people are radiating outward from your home to either get to the Mage's Tower, or we could check your house, because I think something might be there, but I'm not sure.
I'm sure Marie would very much prefer to be at home if we can manage it.
Is Marie awake at this point, or?
Yes, she's still very lethargic. You can tell she's, kind of zoning in and out. It's now only been an hour.
I'm not sure how safe home is, especially with the things that occurred upstairs and what sounded like occurred downstairs.
Okay.
Home is not home at the moment.
Okay. Then where are we moving?
You, half-orc boy.
He kind of stands up tall.
I know you're good at moving hidden.
Gives just a little bit of a smirk, and you can see his chest puff up a little bit.
I want to where is it? I gotta check something. It's still in there. Okay. I want to pull out my regular dagger that hasn't been equipped for a while. I've just had it. Just a regular one. I do not care what you do with this afterwards. But if you, knowing this place much better than I do, can help us get to the Mage's Tower, I'll give you this dagger. You can sell it, use it for what you need to. Up to you. Will you help us?
Reaches out for the dagger. I'm always good for a job. I'm always good for a job.
All right. I'm gonna hold you to that.
He takes it, slides it in his belt. As he slides it into his belt, it slices his belt and his pants fall. I rolled a 1. I rolled a natural 1 on a dex check for that. He goes, He puts the dagger on the ground, ties his belt again. It's just a cloth belt, but he ties it again, and then he's more careful. Okay, yeah.
Almost
puts his
always
hands on
good
his
for a
hips.
job.
I imagine with Ceradyn's training, he would be able to hopefully not break in that moment. and
Yes,
give him the laugh that I did,
yeah.
but maybe a smoke.
But the rest of you all, you're moving towards the main city square, which is actually almost under the shadow of the Flying Fortress. And there's starting to be a great congregation of people here. In the center of the city square is a major fountain that feeds water to a great majority of the city. In conversations, Arni, Sashem, and Chief, with your arcane knowledge, alongside this Furbolg. Or actually, Chief,
I wasn't
you
there
were
with them. I'm off looking for Ceradyn.
You're looking for Ceradyn. Okay, that should be interesting. So just the 4. So Sashem, Arni, Zenesha.
That's why I asked what I did in the hero check.
Yeah. And so Zenesha, Sashem, Arni, and Basil. In this group that's building up, having discussions about, how do we infuse this joy into the water to help it to spread throughout the rest of the city more quickly, and to make sure that nobody's left behind. There's a couple of really, really good ideas that come forth, and word spreads quickly throughout the congregation of people here, and materials begin to accumulate. The cart that was left behind instead is pulled and caught up the alchemist, and he begins to hurriedly work to concoct something that will extract this and help to deliver it everywhere. So while that's happening, Chief, go ahead and make an investigation check. Okay.
18, I think it comes out to be.
Yeah.
After -3.
You take your time going you basically start at the house and kind of just start taking a spiral around and around and around. And Ceradyn, the streets are empty completely. At the moment that you turn the corner and you are looking at the courtyard of the Tide Peak, Chief comes walking, and you are face to face with him.
Naya, take the children, run to the tower.
She takes them and she first leads them down this street that is parallel to the tower, and then you get the sense that she's gonna head into
And
it
as
on
they
the
go
street.
away, I turn to the boy I gave the dagger to, and I'm like, keep her safe, please.
He just nods and moves along with them.
And I
Chief,
shimmer a gold through my fingers as he goes. Just a gold coin.
okay. Natural 20 on perception because he's looking for gold. His eyes go wide, and he puts his hand on the dagger, and you can tell he's very, very serious.
Awesome.
Paying hobos to fight for you. I like it. That's not.
Kids are smart. Kids are
questionable at
smart.
all. I know. But Chief, there's Ceradyn. Probably be out. He's 100 feet away, but you see him. And there were more people too.
He's 100 feet away, you said?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start walking towards it. Hey, Ceradyn, you did a good job keeping them safe. Come give me a hug. As I'm walking towards him.
So you
Start
close
to-
by 30 feet.
I start to hover while going towards the tower. I'm not much for hugs, my friend. Remember? Just
All right. As I'm getting close, as I'm trying to still get within that amount that I asked about.
and I'm backing away as he's going
just,
forward.
Oh, that's right. Well, you come sit and rest on my shoulder then.
I think I'm going to make sure that Naya and Marie are safe.
Out of curiosity, am I gaining any footage on him?
Not with him actively backpedaling on you.
It's okay. Meet up with the others. I'll catch up with you in a bit.
No, I need you to come with me now as I shoot a firebolt out of my finger.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the attack.
That's not very friendly persuasive.
That's gonna hit.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Ceradyn,
23 to hit.
go ahead and roll damage.
Uh,
Oh, that
14 fire
hurts.
damage.
Oh,
Nearly takes you out of the air, Ceradyn. Boom!
I'm still approaching, trying to be all kind about it. Just come on, I can help you feel better.
oh,
As I-
friend, what has gotten into you? That was incredibly painful. I don't feel safe to come to you.
You'll be much safer with me. Come on.
What are you doing,
No.
Ceradyn?
And I'm going to head off to a side alley while keeping about a 30-foot distance between us and like covering his face with mage hand. Like just
Which I have no.
I mean, Mage Hand isn't necessarily visible by very much, but messing with him, I guess you would say. But you cross within 30 feet of him, you said?
I mean, I thought we were kind of at that.
He was
separation.
he was originally about 100 feet away from you.
Oh, okay.
So you guys have been
Never mind.
shouting back and forth.
Okay, well,
I've been shooting.
wow,
30
your
feet every
firebolt goes
time.
that far? Jeez.
120 feet.
Yeah, Firebolt's 120.
Dang. Okay, well, no mage hand then. I just sorry, friend. Tell you what. Meet up with the others, and when I get there, I'll give your head a nice big hug from your shoulder. But I have to take care of this first, and I'm gonna shoot down an alley off to the side.
The moment
breaking one aside.
The moment he decides to shoot down an alley, I am going to use Expeditious Retreat.
Okay, what's that make your total movement, Chief?
Let's see. I move normal 30. And when
So
I
it'd be
cast
100,
a spell,
be 90.
I can use a bonus action and the dash action and all of the for a full 10 minutes.
Yep.
I move
90 feet of speed. Ceradyn.
I'm going diagonally
Right at the
up
moment.
in a way.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But right as you go and you're trying to break line of sight with him, you look back and you just see Chief's feet like ignite in a green flame, and he moving at an unbelievable speed towards you right as you break line of sight. Now, how are you getting away?
Well, since I was flying, it would be up out of his reach in the air. Just looping, trying to go over buildings through, basically just getting away from him and trying to lose his line of sight. Okay,
so we are essentially entering a chase sequence through the city between Chief, the hyperspeed flaming robot, and the little owl.
And I'm not going near the tower. Like, I'm going to be basically trying to skirt around it.
Okay.
So.
Okay. You're going up and going to be just trying to like draw him through the cities, try to like you're trying to like cut him off in a cul-de-sac or what? Like, what are you trying to do?
Just trying to lose him. I have a tiny body. I can fly. I'm a rogue. I've lost people before. Not people that were that fast, but I am trying, If I have to dive into a chimney, I will.
Okay. So you start heading over the rooftops, and Chief, you are maintaining pretty good track of him initially, but just go ahead and roll a perception check. Ceradyn, roll a stealth check for me.
I would like to. Dang it, that's a bad one. I would like to, before he got out of sight, cast a firebolt before I lost him.
19.
So I'd say that given that perception versus stealth, you lose sight of him initially until you catch him again, having shifted off a different direction, and you're going to have to close distance again. But as you turn, you actually like drift on your feet, leaving 2 lines of green flame on the ground, and then start turning. And for 10 minutes you have expeditious retreat.
Has good stamina.
He is a semi-migratory bird, so you never know. Ceradyn, you initially feel like you've lost him, but you look back and he's still got a bead on you. What specifically are you doing to lose him?
How close are we to the city wall?
City wall? I mean, you've probably got 1,000 feet.
I was just looking at the map, that's all. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, scale is a little weird. You can't just one-to-one on buildings. And
I know.
There's like a city area, a residential area in that conglomeration of buildings.
Yeah, so it's a ways off. Okay.
Yeah.
While darting through things, I'm going to be keeping an eye out for basically like hidey holes or somewhere I can disappear into.
Okay.
I want to keep an eye out.
Check.
Okay.
At an 18, there's no shortage of eaves. There's no shortage of chimneys, like you said. There's no shortage of balconies with second-story doors. It's just a matter of choosing one. What would you like to do?
I think an eave would be the easiest to try and dip in behind. And I want to try to dip into an eave around a corner somewhere and use reduce.
Okay, so make a stealth check. Chief, you see him slip down behind a home. What are you doing?
Well, I was hoping he would pause before he did that, but I guess he didn't. As I'm running towards where I saw him dip, I'm going to be pulling out my arm rifle.
Okay.
And then
Going bird hunting.
when I get within 80 to 240 feet within that where I think he is, I'm going to pop off 2 shots.
Okay. So,
All the better to spread the love and happiness with.
exactly. Make a investigation check, Chief.
19.
You don't see him. Ceradyn, you're up inside the eave. You see Chief running by. You've now shrunk down to half your size, which means you're 6 inches tall. Runs back on the same street. And you hear him on the next one. What are you doing?
I'm staying put on this eve until I'm confident that he's either not running around anymore or that I've lost him.
Okay. Chief, you haven't seen him leave, but you don't see him. What do you do?
Is there higher buildings than where he dove behind around? Or
A lot
ledge?
of the... So there's some variability in this residential area. For the most part, everything is kind of like either a 1 or 2 story building. There's the occasional 3rd story building. Probably one that's about 100 feet away. Further north.
Well, right. I'd like to get as high up as I can, because I know he dove in somewhere around this area.
Okay, so climbing up a building, getting on a rooftop.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an
Can
athletics
I
check.
hear that?
Oh, you can hear this from a mile away.
Well, what I'd probably do is go through the floors and then just try to get up on the roof from the top floor.
Okay. And most of the doors are open right now, so yeah.
Okay, here's the athletics.
Still need this for
I'm not very good at climbing.
a 0. So you absolutely hear this, Ceradyn. You hear the do 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 do, and then ta-gong. Chief, you fall flat.
Hearing-
Can't see it, Ceradyn.
Yeah, hearing the sound's direction in the opposite direction, I want to go in a door of another building to basically get into more hiding, like access of the bottom point of a chimney. That way, if I need to, I can shoot up out of it. That's what I'm going for.
Okay. Yeah, just go ahead and roll an investigation check. Chief, as you make your way up onto the top of this building, the 3rd story of this building is basically a glorified attic that has a little bit of a balcony that happens to be overlooking, towards the south, which you see the Tide Peak there.
Is that the direction I saw him dive into one of the buildings?
Yes, so he was here, you ran back a couple times, you came here, and you're now overlooking.
Okay. Just knowing how happy everybody's going to be, I'm just going to throw a firebolt to the building that I thought he was on first.
Okay, just go ahead and roll a attack at disadvantage.
At disadvantage? disadvantage? Is it over 120 feet?
It's disadvantage because you don't know where the target is
Oh,
specifically.
I was hitting a building, just shooting a building, not.
Oh.
I'm aiming for the building.
Yeah, I mean, just go ahead and roll the attack then.
That would be a 10.
Easy enough to hit a building. The firebolt crashes against it. A lot of the mud splashes away. The mudded exterior splashes away. A little bit of a smoldering section left. Ceradyn, you hear this in the building you just left. With that investigation check, you basically just get into the next building, and it has a chimney. But you're inside the building now. The door was just open.
Yeah, I want to be at the base of the chimney, just up out of view. Just ready for if something comes in, because I am used to hiding and basically want to wait it out, as I've done in the past.
Okay. Well, as this stalemate goes on, at the city center, Zenesha, you're there talking to the cowman, and he is so happy to hear of what you discover some of his relatives in other cities. This alchemist family has kind of taken it upon themselves to bring the joy of alchemy to the world. And it's been their specific goal to get someone of their family, cousins, brothers, mothers, and fathers in every city in the world. They're almost like starting like an enterprise of alchemy. But all of them pull a cart rather than a stationary establishment like a normal shop. But he says, I really think the answer is in our blood. If we were all to give our blood to the water and then imbue that with ether, we may be able to give our gift to the entire city.
Let's do it, man. Let's go.
Basil, Sashem, Arni, sounds like a great idea. And then
Oh, I already
each of
pulled out
you-
a knife and was like,
each of you has ether to give too, to empower this effect. And as the group of you move forward and begin to spill blood into the fountain, do make a wisdom saving throw as you damage yourself. All four of you.
10.
Go ahead and take each of you 4 points
Well.
of piercing damage. And the water begins to red. A great number of other people walk forward and begin to do the same. The filtering of this water up the fountain. First, the blood gets sprayed upwards and reddens the air around you, but then it crashes down and starts to flow through the channels that dispense water to the rest of the city. And at this point here in the courtyard, there are hundreds of people. Hundreds. Ceradyn and Chief. Chief, how long would you wait?
Well, I'd probably shoot another firebolt out and bring my rifle back out.
Okay.
But to decide on if I go left or right, I'm going to roll a die, and to the left is odd, even is to the right. Even is to the right.
Okay.
So I'll just shoot at that next building over to the right.
Yep. Go ahead and roll an attack.
It's a big hit.
Oh, yeah. So Ceradyn, outside of the wall that you're in.
Of course. Dear Lord. He can't know. He can't know.
Actual footage of Chief versus Ceradyn right now in the chat.
Oh,
Duck
cool.
hunt. Yep, duck hunt. I knew it.
I'm thinking to myself, he can't know. He can't know. There's no way he knows.
But you also know that Chief has abilities.
At
I
this
think I
point,
would
am
still
just
wait in
looking
this
down my
spot
rifle.
just because I don't think he knows.
Okay. Like I said, Chief, how long would you wait?
I'm gonna wait for. At this point, the retreat's probably expired, but
Yes.
I'm going to just train my rifle between the two houses that I hit. I'm just gonna sit there for 10 to 15 minutes trying to.
Okay.
I haven't seen any bird whatsoever fly out of anywhere. So.
Okay. So, I guess this would include Zenesha too. Zenesha, Basil, Sashem, and Arni. What is the total accumulation of all of your spell slots that are remaining anyway?
Just have one.
Just have one? One level 1?
7.
I've got 3 level 1s and then 1 second level at will. Or like 1 use.
I got
Okay.
9.
9. Okay. Arni,
7.
7.
I've got
Okay.
4 level 1s, 2 level 2s, and a level 3.
So as more and more people begin to walk forward and spill themselves into the fountain, which has become a deep, deep red at this point, some of them fully giving of themselves into it to advance the cause, falling to the side to be pulled away by others. You begin to all pour your magic into it. It is pulled from you. Mark off all of those spell slots. And the joy that you feel while the magic pours into this fountain, and the deep red turns to more of a glow, is overwhelming. It's fantastic. It's so much that it's almost too much to bear. You all take 7 points of psychic damage. And make another wisdom saving throw. What's the total of that, Basil, after exhaustion?
It'd be a 14.
Okay.
My
Still
lucky day.
bound. Missed
How
the
badly do
DC
we
by
want
1.
to put our magic in?
It is the most important thing.
Then Zenesha would go into a rage so she can dump in Divine Furies.
I feel so there's a difference between the ether that's held within your body to cast a spell versus something that's channeled like that. I feel like even Zenesha would have a sense of that.
And with how happy they are, could she even go into a rage?
Oh yeah, it would just be the most terrifying thing you've ever seen.
It'd be like the Hulk on a good day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, exactly. So very much so she could, but it would be a happy rage. And we just paint a happy little rage down here. Ceradyn, for another 10 or 15 minutes. And another, very consistent volley of firebolts that have rained out over the course of this time, given that, the option to do it every 6 seconds over the course of 10 or 15 minutes, a number of buildings are burning.
Oh
Now,
my goodness.
Firebolt isn't very good at igniting a building, but it's been so consistently that smoke is beginning to filter into where you are hiding.
My goodness. Does this not wear off? What is going on? I think knowing that Chief is keeping an eye out for him. Actually, where in relation is the tower between them? I would like to know, like, location.
So, tower, you, Chief. It's just like a straight line right now.
Okay. I think instead of flying, being as tiny as I am, hoping to be mistaken as like a rodent or mouse, I'm going to sprint along the corner of the ground next to the buildings to hopefully just be not noticed as I go towards the tower.
Okay, Chief, just make a perception check.
Can you give me a sec?
Yep, you good?
Negative
and a stealth check from you, Ceradyn.
12. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, what?
No, for his roll, not mine.
Real quick,
I know, I'm saying, where is this coming from?
Just a real quick question.
Go ahead.
On the enlarge reduce spell, is that what you cast, George?
It is. Is that only 10 minutes, or is that...
So 1 minute.
30.
Oh, it's... Is it?
Okay, we have different things.
Oh no, concentration up to 1 minute. I'm normal.
Okay, there you go. So Ceradyn is not small. Well, he's
So
still
you
small.
said perception check?
Yeah, perception for you. Okay, yep, and then a stealth from Ceradyn.
Okay. Oh, 1 second.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure on...
Yeah, you're good.
No, you're right. I saw the range and thought it was the time. That was my bad.
See, and I actually thought it was an hour. Figured it would have been an hour, but... Wow. You do slip a good way away. You're not in the free yet. You've got another, 200 feet left before you're going to be touching the courtyard of the tower. Chief, go ahead and roll another perception check. Ceradyn, you're to the gate of the tower.
I'm inside because I want to see if
Okay, so
Naya and
you're
Marie
into the
and the 3 are
courtyard.
in there.
Chief, you're pretty sure that, either Ceradyn's not here or he's staying in one place.
Past experience with Ceradyn, I know he probably wouldn't be in the houses by this point anymore with them being all smoky and fired, so I'll just go down and continue my search for him in the area, making regular outcroppings, not going behind me, but so I didn't see him go this way, but I'm just kind of street by street beyond.
Yep. So go ahead and just roll an investigation check. Ceradyn, it takes you a moment, but in coming into the courtyard of the tower
25.
and working your way around, you do find them huddled up against the base of the tower, just up against a little bit of a section where the tower kind of outcrops.
Good. No one saw you. Good job, boy.
The half-orc boy stands up and points the dagger at you and says, "How do I know I can trust you?"
Good point. Flicks a gold at him.
He takes it. All right. That'll do. And then what he's holding in his hand kind of sets in, and he tucks it into a pouch.
Now it seems many people are affected by whatever's going on. You did well to make it this far and hide. I'm going to see if maybe the mage of this tower will let us in or help us in some way.
Marie stands up and walks over to you. I could do it one more time. I'm really tired, but I think I can do it one more time. If it's my fault.
Child, I
You
have
can
no
tell
idea.
there's tears welling up in her eyes.
I'm gonna reach out my hand for her hand.
And your hand is tiny even in hers.
Yeah.
And it's trembling.
Whatever has happened, child, it is not your fault. And though you have this great power, you don't know how to control it in a safe way yet. What if things are made worse by you trying to do it again?
But there's scary things happening right now.
There are scary things. You haven't seen any, have you? Just heard? Been shuffled around?
Every time I went back, it was just different. You could feel it was different. I don't think the next time would be like this. At least not the same. I can feel.
What makes you think that?
Her brow furrows and her face contorts a little bit. She says, I just feel it. I don't know how to explain. Now, Ceradyn, make a perception check.
Okay.
You can tell she's serious. I'm kind of taking this kind of like a split between insight and perception. She does look a bit gaunt right now, as if she is quite worn down. Given how many times it appears she's done this, if Zern's stories are to be believed, the exertion is likely incredible.
Little one, I know you want to help. I know it. We can't risk you. Look at your mother.
She turns to look.
She loves you so much. She would not want you to hurt yourself. Or worse.
Do you have magic?
A little bit.
She just starts looking around. She reaches out and puts her hand on the tower. Can you get inside? Out here's dangerous.
I don't know, but we can give it a try. Shall we? And I'll put my hand next to hers on the tower. Just with my other hand, like, knock on it. Because I imagine the whole door thing not being there like it was before, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's just like a smooth tower all the way around. Moment.
And I'll, with my hand next to hers, knock on with the other hand. What do you hear?
Okay.
I'm asking her, like, because wanting her to feel like she's part of it.
Yeah. As you knock, filling your mind, is a message from Darren. I see that you're attempting to access the tower again. You will have a small number of words to respond to me.
I don't think Ceradyn has been in the tower before. Actually, I heard a glimpse of it
that's
from the
right.
others before
Okay.
we left, and that's why I referred it to the mom.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
gotta count words.
You're good.
Don't be like Jester in campaign 2. Do. I see you are attempting to enter my tower. You will have a small number of words to respond. I am away. What is needed?
The Forge Force is charmed. The people in the city are in danger. Requesting shelter for powerful time mage.
Ooh, okay. Roll a persuasion check with advantage. Well, I was almost going to say deception, but you're not technically lying. Okay.
That is not a great advantage, but it's okay.
Ew. That was a 1 on the other one.
Yeah.
Huh. He lacks the magic to send another spell right now. A good amount of time passes, and at about the point that both you see Marie, kind of get discouraged and give up a little bit, and that you're about to speak up, the door opens up, and inside you see the tower, the inside of the tower. It's not the rooms that the others saw, though. It is a structure that conforms to the shape and size of the actual tower, the Tide Peak Tower proper.
Hurry, inside. All of you.
And as you all rush inside, change this again. There's a thump in the ground that you can feel. And there's just this wave of emotion that hits you, Cyrano. And you can tell it hits all of the kids, too. What do you do?
Were we already through the doorway?
Yeah. The door's not closed yet.
Be safe. I have to try and help. And I jump back out.
As you jump back out, your eyes are drawn off to the direct east. back towards, the section of the city that you entered in. And there is this rising, twisting, ethereal red magic. Off in the east. As the sun slowly begins to lower behind you.
Is it similar to the
large-
color of the beings that were on their heads?
Yeah. It's that same pinkish red. But it doesn't move like just as smoke is rising. Instead, like tendrils of flesh. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Wow.
Poor Ceradyn, all by himself.
I couldn't
yeah,
I couldn't leave the girl. I couldn't.